Okay, so in this video, what we're gonna talk about is something called regression, regression formulas. So, or quadratic regression, I guess. Um, what this is that, or these type of questions are, we're gonna get some kind of table of data, and then we need to make the equation from it. Use our calculators to make the equation. We're not quite good enough to do it by hand or in our heads. But I'll show you the steps we need to do that. So I'll show you how to do that on this question. It says a hockey arena has 2,400 seats. When the price of a ticket is $10, so this, all seats are sold for every game. The management needs to increase the revenue from the sale of tickets. So she commissions a survey to predict ticket sales for different ticket prices. The results are shown in the table below. So ticket price $10, they make that much. This is the data that she found. Ticket price 25, expected sales, it's going to go to that, right? Ticket price 30, yada, yada, yada. Revenue is really just going to be this number times that number, right? To give us that number there. This number times that to give us that number there. So we need to do that first. All we got to do is go 10 times 2,400. And I'm just going to fill those in to save time here. Okay, so if I just multiply that by that, and that by that, that by that, that by that, these are the numbers I get. Ticket price, so the revenue, how many dollars you're actually going to make, is going to be 2,400, and then it looks like I'm going to make more money on if I boost the tickets up. A little less money if I boost it up even more, and if I go to 50, I'm going to be like losing because not enough people are coming. So you can tell I'm going to get something that's going to look like that, right? Goes up and then it goes down again is what we're kind of predicting here. So if we look at our graph, left side of our graph is our revenue, so this one. The bottom of our graph is our ticket price. Then what we're going to do is plot this. So at 10, we're going to go up to 2,400, something like that. At 25, we're going to go up to 4... yeah, something like that. 35. Oh, disappeared. 35 is going to go 42, so a little bit less maybe. And then 50. Right, just over 20,000. Something like that. So you can see we do have that kind of parabola shape, right? So this thing would go something like... oh, I missed the other point. It's just deleting on me. Stupid thing. It was like there, right? Okay. So it's going to look something like that, right? You get some kind of basic shape like that. All right, so if we put this in our calculator, the next question here's the kind of techie one that we got to put in our calculator. It says determine a quadratic regression equation. That just means a normal equation. We just need to use our data to find it. That could be used to best fit the data. Round off your values to the nearest hundredth as necessary. So what we got to do on your calculators, push the home button to bring yourself here. Make a new document. Just say probably no, you don't really want to save. Now probably for the first time you're going to start to use some of these other things. What we're going to do is we're going to make our own spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet on here looks like this. And what you're going to do is call each one of these things a different thing. So A, we're going to call revenue. Actually, no, let's call that one ticket price. So tick price. Doesn't really matter what you call it. Invalid input. Call it tick. Okay. This one we'll call rev for revenue. Okay, and then what you're going to do is fill in these different spots. So what we need to do is we need the data from this table. We're making this in our calculator. So we go back to here. Let's pull this over a little. Ticket revenue. Oh, so ticket price at 10. Oh, sorry, ticket price going down is going to be 10. Confused myself there. Then 25 for the next one. And then 35 for the next one. And then hidden behind the calculator, it was 50. revenue when it was 10 is 24,000. 43,750. Let's move this over here now. 42,770. And then 20,500. All right. All right, so now here's the next step. We need to turn that data into a actual graph. So what we're going to do, you can see right here on your calculator, it says plus page, means like add another page. What it means is up here. These are the pages, right? I've got a blank page here. I don't really care about that. I could add something to it or make it different, but what I want you to do, just from this spot, you're going to go control, because that's what gives you the blue button, right? So control page, and now it's asking you what kind of page you want to create. What we want to do is we want to create a data and statistics page, and it's going to come up something like this. That doesn't look like a parabola at all, does it? I can't make any sense of that. That's okay. What's happened is that they just throw the points onto this page, and it doesn't have a home yet. They don't know where they're supposed to go. What we need to do is tell the axes what they're supposed to be. So along this axis, what we want to have is revenue, right? That's going to be our money. The bottom is going to be our ticket price. So we click that one, click revenue, and you can see they all align straight up and down. And then click this one and say ticket price, and there we go. We've kind of, how come we only have 3 points? Oh, I didn't push enter. Push enter and then go back to your. Here, I'll start over. So from this point, go control page, data statistics. Now I have 4 points. I only had 3 before, and then do it. So revenue, ticket price. Now I have 4 points. There we go. That looks more like an actual graph. Okay. So from this point, you can see that I've got a pretty nice looking graph. You could probably draw a line through it, but what we want the computer to do, or the calculator to do, is to actually draw its own line. So what we want to do now is go menu, analyze. We want to analyze this graph, and then regression. That's that word that it was asking for. So go regression. And now the only one we're doing, this unit is called quadratic equation. So the only kind of equation we're going to deal with is quadratic. So we want it to show quadratic regression. That's what we're doing. So there. And it shows us our quadratic regression. So it's telling us this formula is negative 55.9 yada 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 x squared plus that 3,267.47x plus 3,060.78. So that's our equation. We just need to write that down now, right here. It says round off your values to the nearest hundredth as necessary. Just so you remember, hundredth is 2 places after the decimal. So this would be negative 55.93, and then 0.47. So this is really what you're writing down right here. Okay. And then the last question here says, what ticket prices will generate revenue of $30,000? So $30,000 up here, right? That's what it's asking for. 2 ways to do this. We're gonna do just the easy way. We might get into it later to find the exact one, but what we're gonna do is just look at our graph and line it up. So when you look at your graph, it's saying what ticket prices will generate revenue of $30,000. If I go like this and say, well, at 30,000 ... and then down ... what's the ticket price? So you're gonna have one price there of like, I don't know, $13 or $14. Your graphs might look a little better than mine. And then you'll also have another one if it goes ... right there, right? And you go straight down, and at $45 you'll end up having the same ticket, or the same revenue, the same thing. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and do the next question. It's really similar. You need to plot price per or determine the quadratic regression of total revenue and price per canoe. So these are the things going into your different columns in your graph. Ignore this L1 price, L2 total revenue. That comes from the TI-83. That's why it's just like the older kind of way of doing it. Since you guys have TI Inspires, that doesn't apply. Yeah. And then see if you can answer C from the graph that you'll end up making. One thing I guess I didn't say, when you do figure out this quadratic equation, you have to just go back if you want to figure out like where the vertex is or figure out where something is on this graph. You need to go back to a graph. So go back to graph, and you need to graph it. So you need to type it all in there. This is different than where we were at there. It's different than this. These are like this is a chart, and the graph is where you can actually find your vertex and all that kind of stuff. So this thing, the only thing we really use it for is just to find this number. That's it. So hopefully that made sense. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. Actually, I keep saying that, but then I have one more thing. Do these questions. I'll put that on my website too, but those are the questions that I want to do. Yeah, I'll put the date I want to do on the website. Okay, see you guys tomorrow or Friday.